guys, I'm Jazz Allegra and I'm a travel nurse who likes to inspire all nurses, new, old, and aspiring to be the best that they can be, because you will be a great nurse. You are a great nurse. So let's lift up each other. So go ahead, if you can go ahead and subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and hit the bell so that you will not miss any more of my videos. And while you're at it, let's just be friends on Instagram and follow me on my handle at jazzy_girl_life, and get your motivation to have a great life, a good life. Be a great nurse. You're a good nurse. I wanted to share I call this my nursing binder. This is what I normally travel with. It's always in my handbag when I go on travel assignments. I also have a digital version that has everything in a email that's just ready to shoot off to any recruiter or facility if they're missing something. But usually when you get to the facility, some facilities would want you to have a hard copy of it, and just for your records, because it's no fun trying to win an argument while trying to pull up an old email on your phone. You can have it right there with you. So I have this binder here, and I have no idea what the brand of this binder, but I've had it for a long time. I like it because it's nice, small, it's thin. You can use anything that you prefer to use. At one time, I was a fan of the file folder, and it's just a big pocket, but it just threw everything in there, and I was just still thumbing through everything. So that quickly got nixed. And then you have like this file of facts type situation. This still has majority of my nursing documents in here, older ones though. I need to refer back to it, and I was using this, but it was so big to try and travel with, and I needed it to be more compact. And I know you're gonna say it's not that much smaller than this, because this is much more flexible and pliable to fit into my carry-on. I have now, I guess you would say, upgraded to this version of my nursing portfolio. So first page, granted I have covered everything because majority of things has my personal information, such as like my actual address of where I live and phone number and whatnot. So I put printer page over the over each section, and I'm just gonna tell you exactly what's in there. So what I like about this, along with being flexible and small, it does have like pockets for things that I may, just want to throw in here if I don't have an actual sheet to take care for. So first page is normally always the contract of my current assignment that I am in. All of the email correspondence, if I like confirmations or whatnot between me and the recruiter and whatnot, I have it here. I like to print that out because, like I said before, in a situation where the facility has one thing of, no, you're supposed to be this, and you're saying you're supposed to be that, their comeback is usually like, we'll call you, let your recruiter call me, and we'll go over it with them. And sometimes it doesn't work out there, because I've had a recruiter where you could not reach her to save your life if you needed her in an emergency. No emergency, you can find her anytime. Emergency, she was a little lost. So learned quickly from that situation, and then the current situation where I was in, where they didn't believe that my contract was ending. They were basically extending me by themselves for another 2 months. And so I was like, no, I promise you that. So I went back to my bag and I pulled out the copy of my contract, along with information, so they can call my recruiter if they wanted to, but they had a copy of my contract which had the end date of the time that I was saying I'm going to be outie dowties. And it'd be fine if I could have extended, but I had already committed myself to another contract as soon as this one had ended, and I had to dip. So I like to do contract first. Next is hospital required documents. So usually this is quite empty until I like either get there, or sometimes they've already emailed you some things that you needed to complete. And like any place, some things of, oh, I didn't get that email, I didn't do you have and of course you're in like an auditorium, or you're in an area where the Wi-Fi is not the greatest, because maybe the hospital is an older hospital, and so those things are not just the greatest, or you didn't take the time to actually save the emails that you've sent and you can't go through it, because I get hundreds of emails. Check my email, like thousands in there. I need something to help me just delete the extras. So I like to print hospital required documents in here. That is anything that they made me sign, as far as like the HIPAA, if you did your OSHA for them, or some bloodborne pathogens class, or just whatever documentation that they needed you to require so that you can actually work there. I complete it and print out whatever certificates, wherever I needed to actually physically sign. I print it out here, so I have a copy to hand over if anybody says that, oh, they didn't quite have it. Next is, of course, the resume. So I have this here. I usually also, behind the resume, I would have my references. I have 2 reference letters from 2 nurses, but I have them on digital copy. But normally I would have a copy right behind my resume, so that they can have that version if in fact they can't actually reach those nurses. They actually wrote me a letter so that I have a physical copy of they're saying that I'm good to go. Next is my nursing licenses. I have 2. I have a Florida compact license, which compact license or multi-state license allows you to be able to work in other states that are a part of the compact, or what is it? ENLC. Is that right? Am I saying those acronyms right? The letters right? Oh my goodness, I don't even know. Yeah, the ENLC. Yeah, it should be. The ENLC. Wow, that's a tongue twister. So every state that's a part of the ENLC compact state, that my Florida multi-state license allows me to work in this. I don't have to be endorsed. I don't have to apply for anything. I can actually work in those states. So I want to say it's mostly southern states that are in the compact agreement. So yeah, states such as California or New York or Connecticut, Chicago, you would have to apply for them because they're not a part of the compact agreement. So I do have a Florida license. I also have a New York State license. I would like to get a California license, but yeah, I can somehow never get my degree and my fingerprints to meet at the same place at the same time for them. So I have missed out and I've spent a lot of money. But we're going to try again this year. We're going to hope that it comes out well. And I have worked in California, of course, but on emergency licensure, where they just took anybody's license, mainly because of COVID that happened. So I enjoyed the low patient ratio that was going on. That was cute. I love that. Spread that around. Then of course is nursing degree. Not all facilities. Well, I'm just hitting the camera. Not all facilities want to see your degree, but some do. Some are very particular. So I have my nursing degree. I have an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's, and so I usually only carry my my bachelor's and my master's because honestly, if you have a bachelor's, I think my associate's is like nondescript. No one really cares about my associates. No one ever asks for it. They want bachelor prepared or master's prepared, and so I carry a copy of those 2 degrees with me. Next are my certificates. So that'll be my ACLS, my BLS, my stroke certification. If you're a nurse who's like you're med-surg certified or the critical care nurse certified, or what's the other thing for ER nurses? The TNCC, the trauma nurse certification, things such as that. That would go right here if that's applicable for you, so you can have that as saying that you are, you know, extra certified. And also having the actual original, the originals are in here because for some, they don't like copies of certificates, especially if you're BLS and ACLS. They like to see the original thing. Next section for me is my payroll stuff. So usually whatever company would that I'm with for the facility would give me a kind of like an example of how they want their payroll paper to look like, and I have like an example of one here. So this is an just an example of one here, and so basically it's like a little just handheld timesheet. And so usually tell you how they want you to set it up so that when it gets sent to your agency's payroll department, you can get your money because you fill out the form correctly. So I usually like to keep the example handy so that when I fill out my actual one, I know that I'm filling it out correctly and I'm not going to get any backlash or any calls or just a lovely no email that's saying you've got a direct deposit. So I like to keep that available and ready, as well as a digital of it. And usually when I do fill out my payroll thing, I like to take a picture of the ones I filled out just in case they get lost in translation and have it saved on my phone so that I can resend it again just in case somebody says it's not completed or they didn't receive it. Last but not least is all of my health forms. There's any physicals that I want to go take, any TB tests that they sent me to have, and I got a copy of the results, any vaccinations that I recently got, or any boosters that I needed to have fitted out, a copy of my titer for my vaccines, just everything here. Recent COVID tests, just copies are in here because especially with health forms, I mean, they will take digitals, but they like to have a physical copy of this. I find they like to have that, see it, hold it in their hand, and make a copy for themselves. And then I have about just two more, just empty sleeve protectors, just in case I have some other things that won't fit in these other sections, or just something that just needs to be protected. So that is my health one. So that is my nursing portfolio. If you're starting off as a travel nurse or you already are a travel nurse, this is my savior. There is no scrounging and looking around. As far as the electronic goes, I put all of those attachments in one email. I email it to myself so that I have that already, and I always have one sitting in draft so that I can just shoot it off really well. And yeah, even if you're like a nurse on a permanent nurse for your hospital or your state. This is a great idea. New nurse grads going out for interviews, having your stuff already nicely put together, where you can, like, literally, when I was a new nurse, I had a much more like a binder. I mean, I know this is a binder, but like an actual binder, and it had something quite similar. It had like a cover letter, the resume, the my reference letter, all of my certificates, BLS, things such as that. And it was just like, oh, Jess, I can see you have whatever. And I would bring copies of my resume, because I don't know an interview, even though you send a resume in, I don't know not one interview where they don't like, do you have a copy of your resume with you? Always bring that copy. Anyway, I do digress. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope it brought like just little tidbits, or just, you know, a little something you can be like, oh, I didn't think about that. That's a good idea, to help you navigate your nursing career, travel nursing career, permanent nursing career. Or if you're just somebody who's organized and you're just like, wow, that's great, and you know how to make this, improve this even more, hey, go off and do what you need to do. But this is just here just to spark a little idea. This is something that's helped me so far and throughout my nursing career, is having a little nursing portfolio of everything together in one spot, that I travel with around. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up, because it really helps out my videos here. Leave a comment below if you've actually watched this video all the way to the end. I want you to know that I have 107 subscribers. I want to say yay, but nobody comments in the comment section, and I want to be like, oh my god, they're introverts like me. I hate leaving comments on videos too, but I'm like, all 107 cannot be like me. So I'm hoping that you guys are actually real people out there and not just like bots who just happen to want to sit on my subscriber number thing here, because I would be devastated. Would I be devastated? Anywho, see you when I see you guys. Until next time, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.